So Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise started streaming globally about 2 hours ago today, and after watching episode 1 and 2, I would like to share with you my thoughts on the show. But first, I want to talk about some of the surprises that I had from watching the show. Surprise number 1. I didn't expect Sunrise and Bandai to actually premiere the show with the first 2 episodes. I mean, for the longest time, the last few series, it's always been 1 episode per week. It was very rigid formula. And this time around, for them to premiere with 2 new episodes, I think that's quite a welcome move for fans. Sometimes just watching 1 episode is just not enough to get into the show or to know whether this is the show that you want to watch or not. Secondly, I think the view so far has been encouraging. Just so you guys know, when you watch YouTube and you look at the video view counts, they are not actually real time. So 2 hours, 40,000 and for 20,000 plus for episode 1 and 2, I think that's actually a very good indication. I think the numbers should be spiking up to the hundreds of thousands in the next few hours or days, right? So that's a very good surprise as well. Number 3, and this is quite a fun surprise, the coolest mobile suit so far. I think when they first announced the show, we saw the gunpla kit. Everybody was like, wow, I really like the Justice Knight. That has to be a cool looking mobile suit. How is it going to turn out in the show? Well, after watching episode 1 and 2, it turns out it's piloted by a comic relief jock which can't even fight to save his own life. So that is, I'm not sure whether that's a good or bad surprise, because I kind of like the character. He's quite funny, but having him pilot a very cool looking mobile suit like Justice Knight Gundam, that is a mixed bag for me. So that's surprise number 3. Surprise number 4, well, I'm glad that Bandai didn't reveal all the mobile suits, and for me to see the Warden pod in episode 1 and 2, that was actually a very new surprise. So very cool to see something different. Instead of seeing all the main characters using the same old Gundam formula, having a main character using something different, it's very refreshing. So that's a new surprise as well. And finally, the last surprise, I know for those of you who have been following my channel for the longest time, you will know that I've been ranting on and on about how much I hated Gundam Build Divers. But surprisingly, after watching episode 1 and 2, I'm actually quite digging this show. Why? Well, let me get to the good and bad and why I'm kinda, feeling the show better than the predecessor. So now, let's move on to what I really like and didn't like about the show. So the good parts are, number 1, I think the approach to make this show a bit more balanced in terms of action and also comedy is really welcome. The main character himself, Hiroto, is quite serious, always brooding. But then again, you have someone which is really funny to break out the tone or, the monotony of the show. And that's Kazami, the pilot of Justice Knight Gundam. It's quite fun to watch, and I think it makes it a bit more relatable, because I don't think a lot of us can relate to Hiroto. He's quite moody, he's looking for something that nobody knows. I can't really tell his emotions. He's quite bland, I would say. So that's the good part about the balance between action and comedy. Second good thing is, the entire core gunpla henshin transformation sequence is a lot like watching a Super Sentai, and that's Power Rangers for you guys in stateside and Europe. It's a lot watching like a Super Sentai transformation sequence. So that is actually quite fun for me to watch. So I'm not sure how many of you would like it. Some Gunpla purists might say, hey, that's not Gundam, but hey, this is not supposed to be a pure Gunpla series anyways, right? That's called as Gundam Build Divers. And the good thing about episode 1 and 2, this is the good thing number 3 about the show so far. After watching episode 1 and 2, I think the story is very well paced. It's very fast, but not too slow, just like what we have had with the Gundam Build Divers. I think one of the biggest complaints about Gundam Build Divers was the sequence, the story played out way too slowly. And a lot of us just couldn't relate or like the characters that much, right? Because they're all young kids. So I think after watching episode 1 and 2, I hope that they'll continue this pace of storytelling, so that fans like me at least, will not get bored watching the show. And finally, one of the other good parts about the show is that, they have some little bit of mystery. So one of the main character, Mei, her motives are still not really very clear. So, we've only watched episode 1 and 2 so far, but what exactly is her motive? What are her gimmicks for her wooden pod? So we'll have to watch to find out. Okay, so those are the 4 good things about the show and why I like the show so far. The bad things about the show that I didn't like, well, necessarily bad, but it's really more of I just couldn't relate to them. And I think that's the opening and ending soundtrack. It was kind of a bit too mellow, not really fast paced, not rock and metal like what we've used to from all the previous series. But that's what I just couldn't get into the opening and ending soundtrack of the show. Maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about the soundtrack? And the second thing that I really hate about the show, and it seems like, again, this show is centered around a mysterious girl character, just like the Gundam build that was before it. And at this point, I'm not sure whether that mysterious girl is a MPD that's a non-player diver, which is supposed to be a computer character, or is it actually a real person playing GPN? Because this entire series is about Hiroto searching for that girl. Is that girl her long lost love or someone that she wants to reconnect with? We don't know, but I don't quite like the show being centered around a mysterious girl again, just like Gundam build that was before it. So yeah, so those are the two things that I don't quite like about the show. But so far, as you can see, I'm kind of digging this show, which I'm surprising myself at this point. The first two episodes, like I said, the pace of storytelling, the action and the comedy was quite fun to watch, and I actually watched the first two episodes without getting distracted or looking at my phone, going to Twitter. I was actually quite surprised at myself, So far, it's really positive, and I think probably one of the main things I really like about the show, which I didn't mention earlier, was I really like the Gundam or gunpla battles now. It does seem to be a bit more exciting because Hiroto seems to be a very experienced fighter together with Mei, with the exception of Kazami, and the other character, Pav. So at least the battles don't seem very weak from the get-go. At least the get-go now you have a very strong player character that can really, decimate his opponent. So far, yeah, I'm actually quite digging the show, and it's a very big surprise to me. For those of you guys who are new to our channel, please do subscribe to us. And as you know, at least we are quite active in the comment section. I try to get to every comment as best I can. So if you guys want to have a place to talk about Gunpla or Gundam anime, we are the right place for you. So please consider subscribing to our channel. And for those of you who have watched episode 1 and 2, please let me know what you think about the show, and more importantly, has your opinion changed on Gundam Justice Night? That's what I really want to know. Alright, so thank you guys for watching and hearing me rambling for the last 12 minutes. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the comment section down below.